Order. The Bradenton Community Redevelopment Agency Board meeting. And let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll have citizens' comments. Citizen comments will be accepted during citizen comment portion on any non-agenda items, future agenda item, or topic of relevance to the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Bradenton. Comments will be accepted on the public hearings at the appropriate time. And I have one card here from Terry Natress. Ms. Natress, to the podium.
Terry Natress. It's actually Natress, but
Oh, sorry.
it's okay. Close. I hope you guys are having a lovely morning. Terry Natress, 1009 13th Avenue West. I am here to thank you guys for supporting and sending all of the CRA Advisory Board, giving all of us an opportunity to participate in the convention. The fact that you guys see it fit to financially support us, I know you don't have to do it. I learned so much, and I really hope you continue to see it fit. And that's all I'm here to say. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll chime in. I wasn't able to go, but I do know every time I go to anything like that, it helps you. And having done it when I first got on the CRA board as a volunteer, it helped me. So I'm really glad that we were able to do that. So thank you.
It's thousands of dollars of education, so I do appreciate it.
Good. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, that's the only comment card I have. Do we have any other comments? Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. I am going to pull off number F for discussion. Do I have a motion on the rest of consent?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda A through E.
Okay. Second? Okay, any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Chair votes aye. Passes unanimously. Okay, item number F. I pulled this from the consent agenda because I feel, this has been all the way from the beginning, we have these citizens advisory boards, and I think it's extremely important that everything goes through the advisory board, and I understand that this has not gone to the advisory board yet. So before we do, we need to, I don't know if we change the motion, that we approve it contingent upon that, or do we just wait and do it after it's gone through the through the advisory?
Madam Chairman, the way we sell property, we usually get a unsolicited bid, which we did on this one. And then we do take it to the advisory board to ask if they want to sell it. We don't discuss who, how much, do you want to sell it? Because then we bring it to the board with that recommendation and ask you the same question, and it's burned into my brain. The first question comes from you, and has it been to the advisory board, and this is the recommendation. And in this case, the recommendation was, yes, we're willing to sell it. We even got an appraisal on the property. Came back to the board said, move forward. And Chris put it out to using the CRA process, statute process, for 30 days. We've got one bid, and with that bid, then that's where we are right now. And I agree that this piece of property, any piece of property we sell, we can take back to the advisory boards once we have that.
Once you have a project?
Yes.
Okay.
And let them review it and give you a recommendation again on the project itself. So It's just a step-by-step process. The motion is a good motion. The motion is moved to instruct the staff to negotiate on the project. And we can just add to that to include a recommendation from the Central Community Advisory Committee to come back to the board. And then it would come back to you. And that way you know that the community has had an opportunity to look at the project and to make sure that the community is okay with it. And that gives you that extra piece of information that you're always looking for from the community.
Yes.
So the motion amended to include a review by the Central Community Advisory Committee would be the motion amended.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Okay, so moved. And second? Okay, seconded by Ms. Gonzalez-Moore. Okay, any further discussion?
I have a little something that I want to.
Go ahead.
Hot off the press, I have not had an opportunity to discuss with staff at all. In the past week, I've talked to two separate individuals who are working with private investors to do some projects in a couple of the CRAs. And and they're separate from each other. They don't know each other. And they both communicated to me frustration with the length of time for incentive payout, because the conversation with both of them separately went along the lines of that the incentives and the length of time that they take to get paid out work very well for typical construction financing, conventional kind of financing. But when you're working with private investors and private equity, those people want to get their money turned around quicker, and it's kind of dragging their ability to do something. And so I just raise it as something that, like, it was becoming, by the second or third time you hear it, it's kind of like, maybe it's something that we need to have a conversation about. Maybe there needs to be a couple of different type of, different structures that we have open to people.
Okay, so.
Is that in relation, though, to this specific
No.
They were
site?
correct, no. This is just,
Just
this is,
Okay.
this is new business or just general discussion.
Can we take care of the business at hand before we go to?
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
not
yeah.
realize that.
No.
I thought you said any discussion and you were diving into
No,
the
I
other one.
meant discussion on the sale of the, of
Oh,
this
okay, yes,
and
sorry.
amend-
I hadn't realized we had not voted yet. for that.
Okay, okay. Any discussion on this?
No.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll call a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay.
So I got ahead of myself there.
Maybe we're at other discussion now.
Madam Chairman,
Yeah.
before we get into, a different type of incentive versus the one we currently have, just to let you know that Chris is working diligently to keep an eye on our current incentive package, because today, on a conventional financed project, let's say 250 workforce and market rate unit apartment building, it would take a developer starting today, if they came in and said, we're going to do this, 5 years pretty much to get through all the processes necessary, including financing, engineering, permitting, land use, all of it, right? The fastest they would move through any department of the city would be the CRA, because of how we're set up to run. That being said, we've got roughly 15 years left, so now we're down to 10 years once they get to CO. And we pay, it's a self-funded process. And we're going to be sitting with each of you and having public meetings to address changing the incentives, because we're getting to that point where we are going to have to change the incentives, because we cannot pay the full amount of what we're currently advertising. It's coming soon. And that is, that's just a fact under the circumstances we have today. I've known, not in Bradenton, but I've known in other cities that this kind of thing is, it's a natural progression. There'll come a time too, when we're down to roughly 5 years or so, we haven't figured that out yet, where we're gonna have to stop, because we just will not have that, not unless we started pulling money from the trust fund to pay. And we'll even have that discussion with you, because in our discussions, what if it was a special use that the city and the CRA board really wanted? CRA member Moore, is there a use that you think the city really wants?
Yes.
What's that?
A grocery store?
Yeah, exactly. It's a one-time deal. Whoever comes first, if they meet the criteria, would get a special incentive just to get that use. We're incentivizing that. And that is something we'll talk to you also about putting a multiplier on for special uses that the city and the CRA board really want and think we need. And I would also encourage you, and we will make this available to everybody, including the public. Again, the assistant director over here put together a really cool 15-minute podcast with AI, where he took Aunt Iaboni's nice, big, thick market analysis that takes someone like Randy Iaboni to read, and they put it into a 15-minute synopsis where there's this discussion talking back and forth. And when you listen to it, man, it's a totally different piece of information, because now it's very digestible.
When do we get that?
Yeah, Chris?
I will do that within the next week.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
So I mean, I listened to the one on Central, and it talks about age groups and incomes and percentage of rental units versus percentage of ownership units. It talks about all kinds of really neat things that, the computer pulled out of that information that Iaboni put together. So, and it's not on just that one, it's on all three. And then once you listen to that, then you can have a conversation with Iaboni, and it'll be a better conversation. So, because reading those things is really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be happy to talk to you about a different type of incentive. Now is the time to be talking about a different kind of incentive, because we're going to have to change them. And I wish we had more time. Incentives are kind of, one of my things, and now they're Chris's things. He's taken it to a whole different level, which I'm always in favor of. But he's also telling me, putting up those big lights that say, warning, warning, right. We're getting to this point where we have to make some adjustments. So that being said, I will tell you also, since it's been brought up publicly, that we are considering a new CRA specifically that is economically driven, that has a whole bunch of different parts to it. What we're waiting on. We've had a talk with city administration, and they're favorable. We're waiting on the first week of December, because that's when all the bills have to be dropped in Tallahassee to know what do we have more time? Do we have less time? Kind of that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So every day we're looking, asking co-pilot or whoever we're working with, are there any new bills in Tallahassee that have been introduced in 2026 for community redevelopment agencies? And so far, so good. So, but you know how that works. Somehow they just magically appear at the last minute, so.
If I could just follow up on what Dr. Burton just said real quick. I think that it's relevant, Mr. Iaboni's data collection I think is relevant, because when I think about all the things that we're kind of doing with both hats on, the EDC project, Mr. Iaboni coming in, and our current incentive package, I feel like there's a space and, you know, in this current economic situation that we find ourselves in, where the projects that are going to need conventional financing are really dictated by, they're almost always like monster high dollar situations. And they're also super data driven, so you're not gonna get that financing unless you can really show the demographic or the whatever. And there's no room for us to just have a community need, like the grocer, where we can't point to our, you know, how many heads and beds and a variety of other things. But if we have people who are willing to put their, you know, their money into it and take that risk, and if it is something that we hyper know that we want, but is difficult to get because of scale and data maybe not quite being there, I think it would give us just more flexibility. And this is just me, you know, this conversation before we have conversations with them. My focus, for the most part, is I think that I'm gonna venture a guess that you guys are all similarly doing the same kind of rowing. I imagine that all 5 of us are kind of rowing in the same direction in our queue, because obviously we cannot do it together. And that always turns out to look like smaller projects, you know, like not the huge catalyst changing thing, but just how do we continue to push those little small things? Because I think if all 5 of us are pushing those smaller scale, but in the same direction thing, I think that we could really affect change that way, and from an economic and downtown revitalization.
So our strategy, my strategy, I've learned over the decades now, is that there's business retention and expansion, and then there's new investment. And grants have always been the business retention. We've done a lot of those in the last 2 years. The incentives, it depends on the market, depends on financing, and but that's the best. That's how I've come across doing those 2 very important things. I'm saying that, because he just hands me a note. I want to let Chris tell you what he thinks about what we might be able to do to help you with your idea. Go ahead, Chris.
Thanks. So basically, we can put together some sort of grant/incentive hybrid. So they'll be able to get some of their money sooner, but then also have that incentive, for the long term.
I think that would be great.
I just think you're gonna have to balance that you want to have people that are coming here to invest and stay and not just make a quick buck and then sell off the project.
That's true too.
So that's why I don't want to too front load it.
We can even talk about that. Under other items, just wanted to, Kate, if you can.
Gotcha.
Do I need to push a certain button?
I'm on it. Here we go.
According to
It's-
Ask KK.
If you don't speak into that microphone, I'm gonna come down.
She's got an appliance too.
How do I zoom in on that picture? At the conference, which was last month, which Braden then did have right in the middle of that picture. Braden won its first redevelopment award, and there hope to be a lot more of those coming, even closer, like right the guy holding it. I want you to see this picture. Can you move any more? There you go.
Is it better?
That's better.
Okay.
I mean, he's been here for. Are you even here for your first 6 months?
For the record, that's one handsome devil holding the award there. Everybody else 10 months in.
The man.
The award is in the office, and it's for Astoria on 9th. We did submit a number of those. We will be looking at the Best of the Bay. The Tampa Bay Regional Planning has awards also. And we will be looking to apply for those as well. We're already lining up, we're 1 month out from, but we're already lining up for next year. And don't think that with Mr. AI over here that we don't apply for awards that have to do with taking redevelopment into artificial intelligence. We're already doing that. And there are so many different ways that that can be used to even make our jobs better, help new developers, investors understand how to work with us, how to make the whole process easier and more understandable. And it's, Chris got me going, and I get tickled at this because, when I first started, I'm using spreadsheets to do the incentives, to put everything in one spreadsheet so I can just plug things in and it just automatically populates. Yeah, that's a whole different level of understanding, and now he's got me doing it. And when you can sit and put all the documents into a repository, then start asking some serious questions, and it actually respond, then I know you have to check all the statutes to make sure they're the right ones. Yeah, so it really does open up possibilities for us to really reach out and make a bigger statement. So that being said, I just wanted to see that guy holding the award. And he grabbed that award before anybody else got up on stage. And he went,
There's more to the story than what's being told.
and I think I heard him quoting Sally Field. You love me. You really, really love me.
It was, you like me, you really, really like me. If you're gonna quote Sally.
Okay, so just a couple other things. This comes from the list that you get from me once a month on the emails before our meetings. We have 2 pieces of property that we're working on with Tropicana. One of them, it's fine, it's good. The appraisals are good. The environment on the central piece is good. I'll get to the other one in a minute when we get to downtown. Rogers redevelopment site update. We are so close to closing. It is killing me. Chris has, or we had, it was already approved in consent, the last amendment to the contract, which allows the city a piece of property. It reduces our price with the developer by approximately $60,000. And the city has agreed to purchase that for a turn lane, which I do not disagree with. Timing, though, is crucial. And so we can now move forward with that. And the city can get the piece and do the engineering and do all their turn lane. But this will allow the development of the site to move forward. The other thing is the water line.
Yeah.
We prepaid what we agreed to and what the developer agreed to then be reimbursed at closing. All of these projects that tied to this are at Public Works right now, and we're trying to get a date and dates to find out when the water line goes in, because the developer needs that to know when to arrange his financing is set. The developer that's going to be leasing the site and then, or maybe even purchasing the front piece, I don't know, and building the restaurant, they're waiting, and so we're just waiting, and that's where we are. So on our side, Chris got it all done. We met, we got all the parts of the, had Scott go through the whole thing, they negotiated, and hopefully, Scott, this will be the last amendment to this contract. This is like amendment number 6. Yes. So, I hate, and he knows this, I hate using attorneys that much. It costs money. 6 amendments. 13th Avenue purchase update, we don't have anything on that at this point. The sustainable home prototypes, they have made it through planning. They are in engineering right now on the private side. We wanted to make sure that we got through with the form-based code, which worked great, did a nice job over there with planning. They did a good job for us. These are the two homes, and they're being structurally engineered at this point and also mechanically engineered for air conditioning, for rating, and they won't require very big, like 1-ton units because they're smaller. Once we have that, we'll be working with the Fortified program, which is the insurance industry, to make sure the houses can be certified as fortified. I was asked a question by a reporter from Forbes magazine about these homes. And, you know, how much savings would this equate in insurance? Because I also have a chairman that said, Jeff, it's not about the mortgage price, it's about the insurance. That's what's keeping
A lot
people
of
out
it.
of homes.
Yeah.
And using AI, I asked a question and got the answer, which was up to 55% savings on the insurance. So that can be a very significant number because these houses are built for hurricanes. And we all know what a hurricane can do. So we're working with Fortified. We're also working with solar. We met with a really good solar contractor, and we'll be putting insurance and solar together.
You read my mind.
Yeah, yeah, to make sure that what we do qualify. As long as it qualifies for Fortified, we're good, because we want those discounts on the insurance.
And my understanding is the key is that you're not selling the back. What do they call it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And no, you know.
I mean, it'd be nice.
It would be.
But
No.
it'll make it uninsurable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're looking at net zero, which means, you know, as long as the sun is shining, that basically have no energy bill. We're also looking for insurance that's cut in half. I don't think we'll get to the halfway because I work for the insurance industry at IBHS, but I do think we'll make a significant dent. We'll find out how much. And we'll also be looking at working with CDBG. We're having a meeting with them this week, working with SHIP. And hopefully by getting this information out to we'll find other folks that are willing to want to come in and work with us, maybe different types of foundations that can help with grants to us to help fund these things. So at the same time, we're working with CDBG staff and housing to set up the process to get people applied and financed. Because, you know, it's one thing to design them and get that set up. It's another thing to get people even financed. And then we've got to work with the builders because we're asking them to build a little different way in a lot of cases. And we want to make sure that we have a nice number of good quality builders. And we're talking to people that have made contact with us, that have heard about this, that are interested in it. And hey, yeah, we want to have a nice, healthy group of builders. We want to have a nice, healthy group of banks that will do the mortgages. We want to set this up so that it's, you know, you can come in, apply, get qualified, pick a home, pick a builder, and then build, and then you're good to go. So it's slowly coalescing. We're asking, and, you know, and we're also talking with the city staff about if we're doing the same house again and again and again, we don't really need to have it plan reviewed every time, do we? And they're being very helpful with that. So we're really excited about, and we're also working with planning to make it so that it's easier to go through that planning process. Because we really want to have a nice aligned process to build homes, have the private sector build homes for people that we can get qualified, that are workforce affordable, even market rate. They don't all have to be a certain number. We can mix market in there also. And who knows? Somebody might just want to buy a market rate home that's smaller, that has all of these bells and whistles attached to it. The other thing that I figured out, and I was talking with a couple of the council members individually, it has nothing to do with what we're doing in Central, is that the only entity that can't leave the CRA area to do this process, to do it like in the city, is the CRA. And that's not a lot of money compared to the total amount for the process. So it could be copied and there just needs to be an adjustment for the CRA money. So that being said, CDBG can work outside the CRA area and so can SHIP. That's more about affordability. Enough about that. Love Park update. We're ready to put it out to the world to get contractors to give us prices, okay? Really excited about it. The police department is excited about it because they want to see a park there, not just a vacant lot that they have to patrol. Talked to the chief about that the other day. It is currently in engineering. We felt it was, even though we talked to Public Works ahead of time and said, we want to build this park so you can maintain it. At the end, Chris said, do you think, maybe we should have them look at it again, just to make sure? And so we sent it over there and we'll get it back and then we'll put it out. So that's where we are on that. We met with the Love family. They came to Chambers and met with the Public Art Board. Had a really nice meeting with them, learned a lot about Clarence Love that I did not know. He was a pilot. Did not know that. Apparently he flew into the Bermuda Triangle one time and scared everybody. But that being said, we're planning to put out a call to artists with the artists that we have that Jean G lined up for us before she retired. Public Art is a sole source, so we can work directly with the artists, and we will make sure that we get with purchasing designated as a sole source. And then we will have that artist, we'll have the artist come back in with the Love family and make a recommendation to the CRA board on the art for the park. Existing CRA home, we are just about done with the old police, central police substation. Have you had any other inspections, last inspections?
No, it's wrapping up. It's just putting blue tape now, and that was 2 weeks ago, so we should be wrapped up within the next week or two.
And once we get that done, we'll get with CDBG Housing and talk about how to get that back out into the market. We could sell it like we sell everything else and do the ad in the paper and have anybody come that wants to buy it. We can also say things like, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can't do. You can't be a certain creed, it can't be a certain race, it can't be, it's open to everybody, but you can say things like, we would like it to be home ownership. We would like it to be, first responder, that kind of thing. So, depending on what, we can ask Central Advisory what they would like to see and bring that back to the board with purchasing and let you know how we're gonna put this house. We need to get this house back out on the market. It's been sitting there for too long. We talked about that. Bellamere property, which is a property on 9th across the street from this is in Tamiami.
Is this the backup, the one where the backup contract?
No, that's in Central, and that one, it's at a hold right now. We're still waiting for, we haven't heard anything back on 13th. Nope.
No.
Okay, nothing
Shouldn't
has happened there.
Shouldn't hear anything towards the end of the year.
Okay.
We should have next.
This is the property right across the street from Lecom Park's gate. Not surprising, it's a brownfield. Not surprising, we're having it tested, and we will find out what we're talking about before we do the final deal. Same thing with Tropicana. We need to know what we're talking about, and we'll let you know what that looks like before we do anything else. But that's a nice piece of property.
And it's tied up.
Yes.
We are the lead contract on that.
Yes, absolutely. The Met 2B is heading toward, he's over here with SIP.
Yeah, he's still in, I think they're through the form-based code review, and I think they're gonna need to make a few changes maybe. But he's moving forward, so once he gets all that, then we'll look at closing on the property.
Shuffleboard court site, we have to go to the city council. It's their property, and they gave us the right to handle the sale for them. It did go through advertisement, and we did get one. We won't talk about who and how much because we still have to go through Tamiami. But we do need to go back to city council and give that update specifically to them to let them know. And then we will be moving forward with that if they want to continue to move forward. Downtown Tropicana land update. Did you know there used to be a railroad spur on that? Something told me in the back of my head that I had known that there was an issue with that property from a long time ago. And so it flagged as a environmental too. Chris negotiated a
120 days.
120-day extension so that we can find out what it, and the same thing with the piece over at LECOM is once we find out what it is, then we'll come back and we'll talk about what it can be. If, you know, and I won't go into great detail right now, but we just need to know what's there, if anything. Old City Hall redevelopment site, the only thing I'll tell you about that is that we are finalizing the incentive contract with the developer, and Chris is like elbows in on that thing. He's going at it. Rossi Park upgrades, I have not heard anything from the city other than they changed what they wanted to purchase. It would save us some money, and I informed them, you're gonna have to come back and just let the board know what you're doing. You just don't, if you put it up there and you don't let us know, that won't be good. Got an email yesterday from USF on the Main Street study, and we're moving forward to finalizing the scope of work. USF has agreed, so that will be happening. Pretty soon we'll have a bunch of graduate students running around here and addressing, and we'll include, everything will include what Dover Coal comes in with on the downtown section, and make sure we stick that into the process also. And I told you about the market studies, and I told you about the 4th CRA, so that's, Chris, you got anything? Did I forget anything?
Singing River?
Singing River?
So October 2nd, we received a 50% confirmation of construction of the sculpture. They have 150 days. I believe it's 150 days to 100% completion. It should be ultimately installed by the end of April. We're on track. We've got all the contractors lined up. Footers are going to go in mid-December. So we're moving forward. Things have been smooth. It took a little bit to get it ramped back up, but we're moving forward, and it's going well. So.
Brian Commons, oh yes, thank you very much. Guess what? We got a unsolicited bid offer on Bryant Commons. Won't tell you what or who, but my question to the board is it's an L-shaped piece on 9th. And, you know, it has 2 houses that were on a month-to-month with the tenants. It's right off of First, right behind, there's a Domino's Pizza, and then there's a car lot, and then there's this.
9th and 3rd.
The question I have to the CRA board is,
Can we get maps when you guys bring this stuff up, because
we can't.
Yeah, I'm a little
This
lost
is-
on this one.
this is not working for me today.
Okay, we'll get you maps. But what we're looking to do is this is a piece that the CRA's owned for a very long time. Is the board interested in selling the property?
You're not asking for that now, right?
You better not be.
If I,
No.
I might,
I'm done with surprises today.
what's the address?
What's what?
What's the address?
There's multiple addresses. It's
Oh,
7
okay.
parcels. It's on the corner of 9th Avenue East and 3rd Street East.
Well, we can,
There was a project for that at one time.
Yes,
wasn't
it
there?
was North Star,
Yes,
and they
okay.
were going to do that assisted living,
I guess
affordable, and
the
they,
question would be
I-
what
I-
they're proposing,
sure.
because that's a nice assemblage.
you know,
Hang on.
I'd hate to see somebody throw up something.
Might want to spell manatee correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll get it.
It's right there. Oh, no, you want property. Yeah.
I never spell it right.
It's all right. eh?
It fixes it for me.
And I'll give you a PID if you want it.
Your PhD.
It's that Palmetto,
Yeah.
Palmetto,
So, You want a
spelling.
PID number?
Hang on.
All right. Yes, he doesn't.
So you do know that my first PhD was from Palmetto High School, Palmetto High degree.
I'm a high diploma. It's called to get their PhD. Hardy, har.
Only one does it. No, it's good.
Gravy.
There you go.
I get motion sickness watching them do this. There's a garbage can under the dais. That's a good idea. Tell me when you're done.
He's done.
Okay.
Okay, so we have two houses where the cursor is right here. And then we have 1, 2, 3,
Oh, okay, yeah, all
4,
right.
5 lots.
Right.
Total of 7 lots. This is, obviously, this is what, 3rd Street East and 9th Avenue East. As Chris told you, there was a ACLF at one time that you were working with to build something there, and it just didn't work out. That happens a lot. But the land is for the most part vacant. And, and again, I would have had it on my email this month, but I'd got this last week, so it missed it. That happens. But if you want us to wait a month, we can do that. Just say it. It's in downtown.
Central.
It's in Central. We can take it to the advisory board and ask them, and then bring you back the recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do.
And just, I think most of the board was on the board probably when the other developers, so, you know, just remind them that that was in play.
Yep, so we'll do that, and then we will get back to you with that and move forward with once the CRA board approves it, we'll advertise it and get it out there. Again, love getting properties off of our docket,
Back into the tax rolls,
back in there. So
not into trusts.
that's all I got. I'll take it back. Is that all I got, Chris?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, is that all I got?
Yep.
I'm not even gonna ask Todd.
So,
We are working on lights and trees, because
Yes.
another holiday is coming, and it will have come and gone before I see new lights and trees, Mr. Burke.
We are actually working.
I met with the gentleman today. We walked the trees. He's gonna give us a quote. He's gonna give us different levels of lightiness, I guess, is not a word, but different levels of, how far up the tree he's going to go. So we can pick and choose.
Thank you.
I do have some demo Sprite lights. They're on display now. I was going to email you to let you all know that feel free. They're right in front of City Hall on one of the main trees. There are some downfalls with that. I won't get into that today. But if you want to look at what the Sprite lights look like, they are colored lights, and that's pretty much what we have access to. So it's more of a Christmas theme. But they're active and live right now, or they come on as the sun sets. But you can look at it anytime that you choose, and I'll email you that as well as a reminder. But I'll have a quote. He said this week. I'm finding things don't move that quick. So as soon as I get the quote, I'll forward it your way.
Why do we want them colored?
I personally don't, but that's all that pretty much you can get with the Sprite lights. It's more of a color. It's just so hard to shine the white lights to make it reflect like a wrapped tree. If you want the wrapped tree look, you really just need to wrap it. It is more expensive, but it looks really, really well when done right.
even like an amber, they can't do it like an amber?
I could check. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any discussion? We did get another public comment that, if I can go ahead and allow one more comment.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
I got 15 minutes, people, before I turn into a pumpkin.
We will get with each of you to go over the incentives in the
Mhm.
office, so we can, it's detailed, so. Cool.
Hi, Cecilia Hernandez, 1030 9th Street West. And 1006 16th Ave West and 1112 12th Street West is, I guess, what I'll be commenting on, my properties that I'll be commenting on. I meant to make it to the council meeting, but I was traveling today, and I know there's a lot of overlap with this group, so I showed up here, and I'm grateful that you guys were meeting today. So I'm just here to ask about some type of workshop, a zoning workshop regarding the properties that I just mentioned are in the Tamiami.
Realize that the CRA cannot do zoning, that is a city council function.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, you could, I don't want you to think that we can take up that
Okay.
as such,
Okay.
because it truly is a city council.
It's a city council thing, so there's
I know
no.
it's the same faces, but
We have to be.
operating
Yeah,
under.
we have to be very careful and make sure that when we're in the city council meetings, we're wearing our city council hats. When
Understood.
we're in the CRA meetings, we're wearing our CRA hats, and Dr. Burton, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are absolutely correct.
So, I
Okay.
mean, and again, when you start talking about zoning, sometimes that can turn quasi-judicial, and I'm not
Yep.
gonna take Mr. Rudisil's job from him, because I certainly did not go to law school, but I don't,
Okay.
I,
I will make it to the next city council meeting.
so, again, I want to be able to preserve
Absolutely.
whatever.
Could she say what she's planning to say to the council? I don't.
Well, when she said zoning,
Yeah,
that made me
well,
just,
yeah.
and forgive me, I'm sorry,
No,
Mr.
that's-
Rudisil,
that's-
jump on me if
So-
I'm
Legal.
going wrong, but.
So there are two things here. One, it could be an area-wide zoning, changing a whole area, and that definitely goes straight to the city and Mr. Rudisil and the planning department. Request zoning change of the piece of property. Still, that's not the CRA, but, both of those, you would probably need to talk to the planning department. If you wanted to rezone your piece of property, you could maybe, and Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not up to date on Bradenton's applications, but you probably could go to the planning department and make an application to change that.
Yeah, there was a workshop. I was specifically, my comment was about a workshop that was that was scheduled, and then it was canceled, and it hasn't been put back on the books. That's all. That's really, it was just for a workshop.
This is on the noise.
Yes.
I don't know why it was canceled.
I don't either.
Okay.
We can talk to Greg and have Greg get in contact with you to find out when it's been rescheduled.
Okay.
Yeah, that is it's a city council issue. It's something that she could raise. Doesn't trigger any quasi-judicial concerns, because they're talking about potential area-wide changes that they're asking for. So it would be something that could be raised at a city council meeting.
All right. Well, I will get to the next city council meeting, and thank you.
Again, I'm not trying to stifle.
Oh, hey, we need to stay, yep, absolutely.
The clerk might also know why. If you email the clerk, she probably can.
Yeah, I didn't see any notes, but, yeah,
don't
I will.
I don't know that we got
We
one
just-
either.
All we were told is it was canceled.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody else have any comments or other discussions?
Did you
I was
see
so
the Bulls
eager.
game last week when they whooped up on that Texas team? Man, wow.
Are we already in baseball?
No, this is football.
I'm kidding. Oh, those Bulls.
Those Bulls, go Bulls.
Oh, I'm giving up on football. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
Okay.
adjourn.
Okay. We're adjourned.